The tip I have for you today is called text substitution. It first came around in Snow Leopard, I believe, and it's carried over to Lion, thank goodness. What text substitution does is exactly what it sounds like. It substitutes something you type for something more. Say, for example, a website that you have to log into. I type my email address over and over to go to these websites because I don't want to tell it to remember me for security purposes. And so I get tired of typing my email address over and over all day. So with text substitution set up, I can now type just a short phrase. I type CDV, which is an abbreviation of my website, hit the space bar, and it fills it in with an email address that I've chosen beforehand, CDV, short for clarkdv@gmail.com. And so that's very handy. That's a time saver, right? That's awesome. What you do to do that is, to enable this, launch System Preferences and Language and Text right here at the top. Click Language and Text, and that'll open up with a tab for Language and Text. You want to choose the second button here. Online it's the second button. I think it is on Snow Leopard too, for text. And it already has some filled in for you. The symbol for copyright, the symbol for registered, has some filled in for you, meaning if you type parentheses, C parentheses, and hit the space bar, it'll fill in the copyright symbol for you. So these are all already filled in. If you scroll down at the bottom, you'll see a couple I've added. I always, not always, but a lot when I'm meaning to type for, F-O-R, my left hand gets a little faster than my right one, and I'll type F-R-O. So I told it, anytime you see F-R-O, substitute, throw 4 in there, because that's what I meant. Here you can see I put my shortcut for an email address of mine. Anytime I type CDV and then hit space bar, it's going to fill in my email address because I told it to. So here's where you would set this up. You would say you want to add directions to your home. You're all the time inviting people over, and you get tired of typing out the directions in an email or an instant message or a Facebook message over and over. What you do is go ahead and type the directions beforehand. I'll use the directions to the Burrow Mac shop. Type the directions out beforehand and then copy them to your clipboard. Command C, Apple C. I've copied the directions to the Burrow Mac shop. You can copy them to your home or wherever. You come to text substitutions, click the plus, type in the shortcut you want to add to. You want to call up your directions. I'm just going to type DIR for direction. You can type whatever you want to there. Then click in the box to the right until it's highlighted, and now paste in the directions or your email address or whatever you're doing to make this your shortcut for. I've pasted in the directions that I just copied off the Burrow Mac website. And that's it. Now every time I type DIR and hit space bar, it's going to fill in those directions. To test it, we'll launch text edit here, and I'll type DIR space bar. There are all those directions. I never have to type again, just by setting up a text substitution shortcut. Now, one thing I need to tell you is the option for text substitution is not turned on in every place you might want to use it. Like for instance, in this email form in Safari, it wasn't turned on by default. I had to turn it on. So any place you try to use it and you can't, simply go select wherever you're trying to use it and right click, or if you don't have a right click on your mouse, hold the control button on your keyboard and click. That's the same as a right click. And choose substitutions, text replacement. You see I already have it turned on, but when I first came here, it wasn't turned on and it wasn't working. So I'd go to substitutions, text replacement. Click that and that turns it on. Now every time I type CDV and hit the space bar, it fills in my email address. You got to admit, folks, that's a very handy little trick there.